Hello, hello. This is Adrian Obi, Capricorntigress of Astrology. Look inside. Coming to you with my June astrological review. As I said earlier, I call them horrible scopes. Privately, I better stop saying that. I'm not going to put that in the universe. These are wonderful astrological reviews. That's what I'm going to call them. And this astrological review is for Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn brothers and sisters. This is Capricorntigress coming to you with our astrological review for the month. I decided to do Capricorns next because I did Cancer first, because it's Cancer season coming up. And it's weird because our chart looks so vastly different than theirs. And it's not fair, I guess. I'm so upset. I'm just a smarty pants. I don't know what's wrong with me with that, one of those things. So let me just make sure I put this in the right thing there. Oh, I'm not sure I did that. So this is the full moon. Full moon. So, Caps, the big thing for us is that the full moon is going to be falling into our 12th house on the 17th of June. No matter what else we think about during the month, just remember the full moon is going to be falling in our 12th house on the 17th of June. I mean, I would stay fully cognizant of that all month long. I feel a certain sense of craziness already in the month that didn't even really got started. I'm doing this at the end of May, but I can feel it. I can feel the insanity brewing. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, Uranus is down low in the fourth house area, and we've got Chiron is in the fourth house area, and we got Uranus in the fifth house area. And there's going to be a lot of emphasis in the fifth house area over the next couple of weeks, because not only do we have the new moon that's going to be in Gemini on the 3rd, but we have Uranus. Uranus is in Taurus. Oh, I got that in the wrong spot. Sorry, you guys. That's what it was. It was throwing me off. So, yeah. Okay. So we're going to have that moon in the 6th house. Let's get that right. Because I was thinking, what am I talking about here? Right. 6th house. Because my concern is between the 6th house and the 12th house axis. The funny thing is, the 12th house is always called the house of self-undoing. The 6th house is called the house of health and work and, mundane things and how we take care of ourselves and how we like service to others, or maybe even the people that do service for us. This is indicated there. But what bothers me is when there's like a opposition that's coming, or it's like the seesaw effect. And it's coming in. I can't stand this. This is the second time. This is called, I've got to wash it, and then I've got to iron it. It's got to be flat iron, whatever. It's getting on my nerve. So anyway, oof, Lord, I should have ponytailed it. Anyway, sorry about the stink face, but it's getting on my nerve. So, okay. So the thing is, with this 6th house, though, there's going to be a lot of emphasis in the 6th house anyway, because it's the sun's there, right, in Gemini. We got Mercury there in Gemini, and now we're going to have the moon there on the 3rd. This makes me want to tell you, watch your nerves. Oh, Lord, I'm be careful about your nerves. Be careful about breakouts and hives, rashes. If you have a tendency toward things like asthma or anything like that, or mental issues. I mean, mental issues is a real thing. So if you need to see a therapist, see a therapist. If you need to be medicated, make sure you're medicated. If you need to see a doctor, make sure you see a doctor. But by golly, do not sleep on this, because the sun and the moon and Mercury are all going to be in the 6th house, which is the natural house of Virgo, which is the natural house of health and work. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis in probably work. I mean, I'm not going to say that, oh, everybody's got a health problem. Maybe you have been one of those people who have been working on your health. And if you have, then the emphasis will most likely be in the area of work. If it is in health, I think because Saturn and Pluto are retrograding in the first house of Capricorn, and it is the sun, and it is Mercury, and it is the moon there, the new moon in that area. It's indicating to me possibly a time of, uh, really ramping up your health. You're putting a lot of energy. Gemini is energy into your health. And so you're going to be, Mercury is there. So you'll be thinking, I think, consciously thinking about ways of improving your health. With it being in Gemini, I see lots of salad eating and stuff like that, workouts and stuff. So that's kind of interesting. Uranus and Venus are in the fifth house, and that's also giving me indications of beautification. I mean, yeah, Uranus is a little different and a little sudden and a little out of the blue, but Venus is very attractive, and it brings beauty wherever it goes, and it's going to be in that area, which I believe it's Taurus, or is it in Gemini? It's in Gem, isn't it? Venus goes into Gemini on the 8th. So it is technically in Taurus until the 8th of June. And then, wow, what a fat fifth house or sixth house that is. Okay, so Mercury does go into Cancer. So then it's all there. I just needed to move these planets over a little because on the 4th, Mercury moves out of the sixth house and goes into the seventh house. That's telling me that your mind right now has been thinking a lot about work-related products. You've been thinking about health, your health. You've been thinking about how to get things done, how to eat well, how to plan out your schedule, those kind of detailed things. But when Mercury goes into Cancer, along with Mars in the North Node, there's going to be a lot of emphasis on your relationship. And I think some of you have been building more emphasis in the area of relationships over time. And because Mars is there and the North Node is there. And so there's been some emphasis there. But yeah, you are going to have Venus, though, and the sun up until the 23rd, up in that sixth house. That's really, I think that bodes well for your health and for your work. And it should be pleasant because Venus always makes things pleasant wherever it goes. And I think up until the 8th, your romances should be pretty pleasant too. You might even have been feeling like you've been experiencing, you might have been even falling in love and not even been aware that it's been happening, but it's happening. Another thing to bear in mind is that there could be some miscommunication, and you've had this happening for a while. This is because Neptune is in Pisces, and Neptune and Pisces are going to be making quite a number of aspects during the month. I'm not going to go into detail, but I will read out to you some of these aspects. On the 9th, the sun is going to be square Neptune. On the 14th, Mars is going to be trine Neptune. On the 16th, Jupiter is going to be square Neptune. That's confusing right there. And on the 16th, Mercury is going to be trine Neptune. That's positive. But the point I'm trying to get at is Neptune gets a lot of hits this month from various planets, not just one, but from all angles, specifically Jupiter and the sun and Mercury. So I really want you to be cautious, especially with the Mercury angles. And that's positive pretty much with Mercury. Stay positive with Mercury in your communication. I would stay as positive as possible in my communication because of this Neptune. It can be very confusing, very nebulous, or it could just be that you're speaking about a lot of spiritual type things. You might even have psychic ability. You might be talking about psychic things or spiritual things, or things that are very Neptunian in nature. So that is one thing that's happening. With the Saturn and Pluto retrograding in the first house, it's just going back over the details that we need to make sure we take care of. And again, that the 12th house with Jupiter retrograding there, same thing. Just making sure that we are dotting every I, crossing every T, doing everything to the letter. Saturn and Pluto both demand that. And I'm sure there's a lot of things that we have not done to the letter, especially when it comes to work. I would take this month, June, to get those things taken care of and organized. And when Saturn and Pluto go direct at the end of summer, you'll be all prepared. You'll have everything taken care of. And, learn in secret, learn in private. When Jupiter's in the 12th house like that, that's what I always think about, is secrets, studying in secret, learning in private, preparing. You're preparing for when Jupiter hits the first house, when the luck comes. So not only comes once every 12 years, so prepare, gain your knowledge. Mars is on the rise. The sun is on the rise. Everything's on the rise in your chart, really. So go ahead and do that. All right, Capricorn. Well, this has been Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside. And I'm getting tired. It's like 4 a.m. and I've got readings tomorrow. So I'm about to go to sleep after this one. Look, if you haven't already, come and find me at facebook.com/astrology, a look inside. I give free readings in our group at facebook.com/groups/astrology, a look inside. And you can also be sure to stop by the website blog at astrologyalookinside.com. And you can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/Capricorntigress. Well, much love and much light to all. Sending out all my blessings to you, Caps. I'll talk to you probably mid-June. Bye now.